How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTCReaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we are seeing a push forward. We did try to break that resistance area, but we have an indecision candle. Momentum is starting to round. VWAP is starting to favor bearish. Stochastic is pulling back, and that RSI is starting to lose strength. So I would exercise caution and watch our lower time frames here. Oops, if I don't drag everything around over on the 1 hour. We are seeing a rejection down. We do have the MPP saying there is a chance that we could push down. There's only a 12% chance, so it does give a higher probability of making higher highs or higher lows. Watch for higher highs after. If we can continue to get higher highs with higher lows that do not connect, then we do still have a chance to continue forward and try to break that resistance. Momentum is pulling back. That VWAP does have lower lows and lower highs. If that does not reverse, momentum will continue lower and money flow will go from green to red, and we will have further selling pressure. That would give us that bearish scenario. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we do have a target of about 97K on both our MPP targets here. So I would watch as in confluence, so there's a high chance we may trade sideways. We did kind of go on it from here. We did pull back, so it's hard to say if we failed that or not. There is a chance we do push to 112K still. There's a 90% chance, but there's also a 70% chance we pull down to 79K. So watch that very closely, because if we do not hold and make higher highs with higher lows, then we are going to see that break down. Our VWAP is bullish, so that is positive. Yes, we could do fetch AI for you, Adam. We will get to that. Momentum is pushing forward. Money flow is in the green. We'll do that right after Bitcoin for you. So we do look pretty positive here on the daily. That could help push us forward still. But again, things do look like a little on edge, so we could break away. No problem. Join us in our Discord also if you want, because then you can ask questions on the fly. It's all free. Stochastic is pulling back. That momentum is weakening. VWAP does have lower lows, so watch that. If that VWAP continues to favor bearish, momentum will continue lower and money flow can end up going into the red. If that money flow holds in the red, then we will see higher time frames break down, and that would give us a target of 96K on this 1 hour. However, if we can see that VWAP reverse and gain bullish momentum, there is a chance to push into that 106K. There is a lower possibility of pushing up there though, so I would exercise caution. We do have lower highs, so watch for lower lows. If we get lower lows that do not connect with the lower highs, then we are going to push down and possibly see our lower buy-ins fill. So that could be positive for us to get a lower dollar value on our averages here. So meant to go to, so that was fetch AI. Let's see. AI looks like it's only on Binance, so this time frames will be slightly different than the KuCoin. KuCoin time frames do slightly line up with American markets, that's why I use them. But we do have a pretty strong push forward. We can draw a fixed range volume profile. Oops, did not mean to do that. I meant to click. Apparently we're having some difficulties here. Meant to click for our volume profile. So if we draw a volume profile here, we can get some data that way to see how much data it'll let us pick up. There we go. So we do have a very strong value area high. There was a lot of price momentum, and it seems like our fixed range volume profile isn't too helpful here, but we are continuing forward. We do have higher highs and higher lows. Right now, they do look a little narrow. I would watch for them to connect. Again, if they do connect, then we could end up pulling back. They do slightly connect if you mix the wicks and bodies. Some people do, some people don't. So it depends on personal preference. That could give us a breakdown. I'd say around that 180. Our stochastic is running up pretty strong there. I moved that window out of the way. Stochastic is moving up pretty strong there. RSI is pushing forward. Momentum is gaining strength. And our money flow is in the green. So we do look pretty positive here to continue forward. But that would be dependent on lower time frames staying bullish and us breaking away from this channel. So this channel, we have 2 touches to the top, 2 touches to the bottom. I would watch if we do approach the bottom again. If we approach the bottom and we break and reject, then it's likely we would see that lower breakdown, possibly retest toward that value area high, right around that 1646. But if we see a higher low and we continue forward from here with higher highs, then we have a chance of pushing to that $2.29.2, so almost $2.30. Stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is gaining strength, momentum does want to push up, money flow is in the bearish territory, but that VWAP isn't very strong, so watch that VWAP. If it flips into bullish territory and holds, momentum will gain strength, money flow would push up, and that could form a double bottom here. A double bottom here would give us a further break up, as you would have that drop, a rise, a drop, and then a rise. And then you would get a neckline. You draw your neckline where your rises would connect. Then you draw from your neckline down, if that would get out of the way there. So then you draw from your neckline down. There's your breakout point. Apply that to the neckline up. And that could give us in confluence with that MPP right around that 229. Again, don't go for the max breakup. It would be a little risky to buy in here and not take profits around a neckline if that's something you plan on doing, because that neckline could reject. Again, watch for confirmation for that full breakup, and even trying to get that full breakup is a bit greedy, so you may want to take some profits or initial out by that full breakup or before and let it ride out. So RSI is starting to weaken, stochastic is pushing down, and momentum is pushing down, but that VWAP could reverse, so that is positive. I hope I answered your questions for you, Adam. So now we will jump onto the normal. We will hop over to graph unless we end up with any other special requests. Remember, drop them in the chat. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord, because if you want, we can cover something on the fly there, and it doesn't cost you anything to be a member. So over on the daily for graphs, stochastic is starting to pull back, no problem. RSI is starting to weaken, momentum is rounding, that VWAP is breaking down. We have a slightly lower lows, so watch that very close. If we continue with lower lows and lower highs on this daily, we will see momentum round away, money flow will weaken, and we will get further selling pressure, possibly filling that buy-in order. So over on the 1 hour here, zoom in a bit, we do have an MPP chance of getting that double bottom, kind of like we covered just on fetch. So that double bottom could give us a break toward that 34, and then if we continue further with higher highs and higher lows, we could see another strong break up. So I'm not going to quite map, we'll just use that MPP, as that does have where our other point up would be. Then you would measure that forward, and if we can hold that 34, there would be a chance of pushing around 36. RSI does want to push up, stochastic does want to gain strength, momentum is pushing forward, as VWAP did break bullish with higher lows. We have a higher high, so if we can hold bullish, momentum will push forward, money flow can remain green, and higher time frames will strengthen. That would increase those chances to fill that break up and give us that strength. So again, watch higher resistances as well after you get these pattern breakups, because those will act as resistance points. That's why we have things like these Fibonacci ranges to watch for. So over on Anchor for the daily, we do have a little bit of a rounding top that could be forming, but we did shoot up very quick, so seeing a little bit of a retracement is not a bad thing. Remember, you want to see slight retracements as you move up, because if you just shoot straight up, you will come crashing back down. Stochastic does want to round away, RSI is pulling back, momentum is rounding with a double red dot, and VWAP is breaking down. So watch if that VWAP holds bearish, momentum and money flow will pull back, and we would continue to sell off. Over on our 1 hour here, we do have some consolidation. Again, this may be some sort of a sloppy double bottom trying to break us forward, and that could give us a retest right around that 67. We're not going to go through drawing it. If you want, you could. Stochastic is pushing forward, VWAP is pushing up, momentum's gaining strength, and that money flow does want to flip green. So we do look positive to push forward here. I think we do have some anchor, so that would be positive for our position. So over on XRP, we do have a kind of consolidation. We did just stop shy of our buy-in area again, so it's just teasing us. So, but hopefully we do see a lower high, pull back, and get some sort of a pullback off that Fibonacci. We could pull up that Fibonacci higher, see if the Fibonacci bands would move around. I'm not going to do that right now because I have it pulled out very far, and I would need to go back to the weekly and mess around with that. But over on the daily, stochastic is pulling back. VWAP is favoring bearish, but it wants to push forward. If that VWAP can break that neutral and hold, momentum could bounce, money flow would remain bullish, and we would continue forward here and try to make a higher high with a higher low. That could be positive, as these highs and lows do not connect right now, so that does give us a bullish continuation. Over on the 1 hour, so that being said, our buy-in order may not fill at this point. We may have missed the trend back here when it stopped just shy of us. So again, that's why you don't go for full moves down. but momentum is pulling back. VWAP is favoring bearish, so I would watch. It does want to break bullish, but it's struggling to hold. Momentum is pulling back. Stochastic does want to round, so I would watch that VWAP. If that VWAP cannot get higher highs with higher lows here, momentum will break down, money flow would break, and then we would have a chance to pull back again. So if you're worried about missing out, you could take and buy in here. But again, we're not too worried about that, as we don't want to average up too high on our position. So we're okay waiting to see if there's a further drawback. So over on Algo, again, use your own discretion, use your own trading strategy. Everything works for you. That's why we cover both sides of the possibilities. That way you can make a fully informed decision. But over on Algo for the daily, momentum does want to round away. VWAP is favoring bearish. Money flow is pushing up. So we do look like we're losing some strength, but it does want to come back. So if that VWAP can hold in the lower time frames, then we could push forward. But if that VWAP rejects here and we see a lower high with its lower low, we do still have that chance of pushing down toward that 28.48. So over on the 1 hour here, the MPP does say there's a 57% chance of pushing up to 58.31, so that would be positive. It would be almost retesting those previous highs where those wicks are. Remember, wicks and candle gaps do tend to fill. So if we do not get higher highs with higher lows here, we do have a lower high. So watch if we get lower lows with lower highs. If we get lower lows with lower highs, then we still have that chance of pushing down to 36.52, and momentum is pulling back. VWAP is bearish, stochastic's dropping. So if that VWAP does not reverse and break into a bullish trend, making a higher, shorter low here with higher highs, then momentum will break down, money flow would break down, and higher time frames would weaken, and this could be a double top that would push us lower. So I would exercise caution, because that could push us toward that 34 and maybe beyond if we're not careful. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like, hit the subscribe.